Hey everybody, Max Monster, back with Marvel Heroes, back with Mr. Fantastic. He's on the chopping block, he's level 60. And, well, he's fantastic in some areas, and he's not so fantastic in other areas. And you probably already learned that a lot of his attack animations leave you less than desired with the way things happen. So, I definitely have a build that works around it, and, it'll work in Cosmics. It'll work quite well. Using mobility to your advantage and taking snapshots of the character in high damage mode and using that snapshot to our advantage. So, going into the build, I call it Whirly Twirly. Anyways, it's going to be 20 points in Inflate, 20 points in Elastic Body, 20 points in Outwit. Now we're going to start doing some damage. We got 20 points in Hyperstatic Inducer. This is pretty good damage over time, and it does AoE. And we're going to be doing substantial AoE. 20 points into Super Stomp. 20 points into the Twister. And that's where a majority of our damage is going to come. As you can see, that's putting us at almost 34,000 damage. You know, basically 33,000 damage a second before Outwit kicks in. So we're going to get a massive amount of damage a second out of this. 20 points into Spectacular Spheroid. I put the remaining points into Elasti Punch after I put 1 point in the wheel and 1 point in Repulsion Field Array. You can go all DPS if you want with Photonic Stimulant Field. I feel his crit is more than enough as it is. You're critting pretty hard. The damage you're getting out of that 20% chance is negligible on either one. However, the toughness is very needed. Everyone feels he's squishy. They're probably not taking any of the defense. So that's going to make you pretty defensive. It gives you a basic to back up on, especially if you're in X defense and you hit like a dupe wave. You can punch away instead of having to twirl all the time, although twirl is going to be much more damage. And basically what we're doing is we're using Inflate, Hyperstatic Inducer, and Super Stomp to set up Outwit's 30% more damage for 6 seconds. Once we hit the Twister, it snapshots our DPS at that moment in time. So as long as we hold the button down, as long as we don't get interrupted or anything like that, even if the 6 seconds expires, the snapshot's there and our damage stays. It's pretty interesting. Unfortunately, I don't think that's the case for Spectacular Spheroid, but it very well may be as soon as we get that UI to come up, which I hate. But once that comes up, it very well may snapshot again the DPS at the moment, and all 5 attacks get that DPS, which leads us to, again, a second function of Outwit, which is actively clicking the button to reset the Spectacular Spheroid's cooldown. However, if you do that, be sure to Inflate, Hyperstatic Induce, and Super Stomp again, or at least Hyperstatic Induce and Super Stomp again, to get the 30% Outwit bonus on your Spectacular Spheroid. In Cosmics, against the boss, you're going to do this very judiciously. You're not going to want to do this all the time. Those cosmic auras will tear you apart, so you're going to have to do it very, very wisely. Which is why we're staying with the Twister. It makes us mobile. Stretch Punch is okay. It's hard to keep going even with River of the Soul. Corkscrew locks us in place. It's terrible. Elastic Barrage, just like the Twister, because it's twice per second in the way it's coded currently, you cannot break it until a full second's expired, so it sucks. That's the only downfall. But because this is mobile, at least you can move away from danger, where Elastic Barrage has got you locked into place. Gearing for this, Dr. Octopus Medallion, we're expanding. It doesn't show you how wide it hits, but we're going to expand the area to which we can whirl and twirl. Pluvian Superconductor and a Power Prism Shard. And really, the area radius is most important on the Power Prism Shard. I'm not going to play him too much, so I'm not too concerned. But 27% increase is going to be huge on area. He's all area. Even, I believe, the ultimate, if we go to it, is area. You can also back him up through melee, but melee, physical, or area right now works very well. Advanced Crimson Crystal is Cyderic. You know, big chunk of hit points and physical damage and invulnerable shield, not too bad. I got an Advanced Super Soldier Serum on there. You could go with the Danger AI Chip Physical. Either one is very good. This is giving me hit points on demand, which right now is pretty low on. Being a melee character, you don't want to be that low on hit points. I have River the Soul on a physical Uru. You should probably go defensive Uru. I have just a Cosmic Ring for the +1 and the area damage bonus right there. Brutal Strike chance is pretty good there. Seeing how we're sitting probably somewhere in the 35% range to crit, buffing Brutal Strike rating isn't a bad idea at all. But take it where it comes and don't gun for it because it's not that great of a stat. It's only something where you can get it. I have mid-50s for the most part except for the boots of his uniques. And I just have a pretty decent, it's +1 to his plasticity powers, which are mostly the powers we're using on a Cosmic with Rare Item Find. Slot 4 and 5, I tend to prioritize Rare Item Find, and then Special Item Find if I can get it. His boots are pretty good. One thing about the fists, even though they seem to really buff the elastic fist powers, they also buff this boots. They're working in combination, so you get an extra bonus off of the melee damage here. It's not a big bonus, but 2.5% is 2.5%. And all his uniques seem pretty good, so I do like the uniques so far. I have a health bonus on the insignia. That's giving me some health, obviously, with melee damage and spirit. Don't really need spirit. Health on the core, well, that should be upgraded. We'll go ahead and upgrade that right now. And get another higher ranking 3-to-1 core on there. And well, he needs special item find because he's got tons of rare item find. Someone stole my pet. There it is, Black Widow. So, someone was asking about this. You can just buy this in the store. It's kind of expensive. Crafting pet. Brings the crafter up for you. Pretty handy to have in situations like this, where you just want to change the core out. This will give me a little bit more. I haven't actually run live Cosmics with this build, so might as well have the hit points. Why not, right? 3-to-1 core, 3,000 hit points, 100 spirit on mid-kit use. Pretty much a mandatory. Anything else you can get on there would be nice. 20,000 hit points for melee is probably much more appropriate. So that's looking pretty good. And team up I'm using is just magic, totally set and active. As you can see, passive, 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 passive. And then I am using the Omega system, just plus XP, and all my points are in plus XP. So I'm not getting any Omega buff. But we'll do a Cosmic Kingpin. And Inflate alone for minor things would probably keep you in spirit, but I like River of the Soul because you can see it still goes down, just so you can maintain some much longer twisters. And you can whirl and twirl all you want. As you can see, I don't even care if I hit the mobs with the inflate. I just want that 10% bonus. The rotation, though, however, if you can hit with it, does do pretty good damage. And of course, inflate will give you spirit and health on use. Very handy to have. For trash, you can definitely twist or kill these things. Stay mobile. You can see staying mobile is pretty handy. Roll around as the ball. So a request was to see ultimates. I'm not going to ultimate the boss, but I'll ultimate this guy right here. And this is basically just calling out the thing, Johnny, Storm, things twirling me around in the shape of a hammer. And it goes away pretty fast, but it does pretty good damage. The Invisible Woman does get called in by the body armor I'm wearing. It's the unique. Sometimes you're better off twirling and not getting the maximum damage by setting up the outwits. If that happens to be the case, you'll know it. Like you see a lot of mobs whirl and twirl right into them, take them right out. By being mobile, you can pick up orbs. You can see you can avoid damage. Now you can also change this around. I could have it so I throw the inducer, super stomp, and then inflate. I just had it set up the other way because it was by time. He's a summoner, so I'll be all set. I don't know what keeps stunning me, but it's annoying. See, this way I can avoid, because my size is so big with the Dr. Ox medallion and the Pluvian superconductor, the AoE size, I can avoid all that cosmic aura damage. Try to pull him away. You can see these things kind of follow him now. Like this would be a good time to ball. So you can see like the damage I took immediately. As soon as I hit ball, all of a sudden I'm taking damage. Oops, I summoned magic by mistake. So I'll do my rotation if I can. When he's away from the circles, I'll do the ball. I can outwit again and do the circles again, the ball. It's a ton of damage when it does happen. It works really weird, sends you in weird places, so you got to be really smart with the ball. You can't just use the ball whenever you want. The ball will get you dead that way. You know, it seems wicked powerful when you're early starting and everything, but later on, you know, curse and everything, you don't want to end up going in the wrong direction. The ball will just shoot you in the wrong direction. It's a horrible, horrible system right now for a signature. Awesome damage, just horrible mechanic the way it runs. So hopefully they keep the damage and figure out a different mechanic for the way it runs. But this will get you running any kind of cosmic you want to do. Might be a little bit longer of a fight on Doom. But on Doom you can ball, you know, spheroid a lot more than you can then say curse. Curse, you're going to be whirling, twirling all over the place. So that's my build. That's what I suggest. And go have fun. If you weren't having fun with them before, that's what you do. Other question was asked what to do with him to level, because he's a pain to level. All I simply did while leveling was put a point into every ability as it opened up and used it. I used Elastic Barrage a lot, and I used Fantastic Grab a lot to do AoE stuff, and I used Stretch Punch to take out bosses in lower levels until I got to the Twister, and until I got Corkscrew Punch. I don't really like Corkscrew Punch. It takes too long to charge up and just doesn't do significantly enough damage. Not for what it does. Nowhere near as good as, say, Luke Cage's. Just not adequate. The Super Stomp will destroy stuff at any level. And once you get it, I suggest keeping points into that. Elastic Body, Inflate, and Outwit. And putting a point in Repulsion Field Array. And Super Stomp will clear out trash every 6 seconds for you. Use that when you can. And that's what I did until I hit the Twister. So, that's it. Hope it helps. Hope you guys enjoyed, and talk to everyone real soon.